guys, we are here in the woods about 80 miles north of New York City in the Catskills Mountains. Don't worry, we're not here to bury a body. I've actually just purchased for $28,000 this 3.7 acre lot of mountainside property. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you how I got this deal. It actually required a lot of patience, and also what I'm going to do with this property. But first of all, let me give you a tour of the lot. And now we're walking up what most probably will be the driveway, and up ahead of us is a flat shelf of land that is the most obvious place to build a house. So we're going to clear out all of these trees here, and this is going to be the rough area we'll build the house, maybe just a little bit back there. That's actually the road down there, but the land drops away so you can't really see it. So you do get the feeling of isolation and tranquility. And you can continue walking up the hill and you get a really nice view of the whole forest. Get off my land, peasants! Anyway, let me tell you the story of how I got this. Oh, you're not supposed to film this part. Right, so I'm going to tell you the story about how I got this lot. So we are in the Catskills Mountains. It's about an hour and a half north of New York City, and like the Hamptons, the Poconos, etc., it is prime vacation country for New Yorkers. There's awesome hiking trails, waterfalls, some of the best rock climbing in the Northeast, so prices for land tend to be a little bit higher. So this lot was originally on the market for $39,000, but they dropped the price down to $29,000, which is what made my realtor want to show it to me. When we had a look at this, he said to me that day, if you like this, you better put in an offer soon because they probably have other offers on it. So I did. We put in an offer for $25,000. Now it was a bit of a low ball, so they offered me back $28,000 and I accepted. But that's when the problem started. Now this land was owned by a trust. The two original owners were two guys. I assume that they were business partners. Anyway, one of them passed away, and then one thing led to another, and the land was inherited by wives and children, and it ended up that 6 people all owned this land together. So it was put into a trust to be sold so that the profits could be passed on to the owners. Now, when you're dealing with a trust in real estate, things go slow. And in this case, even slower than usual. You see, the realtor they employed was an old guy who didn't really do the internet. I mean, I don't know why they employed this guy, but anyway, documents had to be mailed to him and it just took ages. Now, I was anxious to get under contract because once you're under contract, no other sellers can come in and bid up the price. And I didn't want to get involved in a bidding war and lose the land. Now, after signing the contract, I waited and waited and waited for the sellers to sign, but they didn't sign. So my attorney and my realtor, they started getting a bit annoyed. I was a bit annoyed too. We'd waited like over a month for them to just sign the contract, all right? And that's important because once they've signed, they are legally obliged to sell it to you. Other people can't come in with offers, etc., like I said, all right? So anyway, I decided to give them an ultimatum, and I got my attorney to tell their attorney if they don't sign by the end of the week, I'm going to pull out, okay? And you know, no bluffing, guys. If you're going to do something ballsy, you have to have the balls to do it, okay? I was not bluffing. I was totally ready to do this. So Friday came, they still hadn't signed. So I went and canceled my deposit check for $2,500, which their lawyer had but hadn't deposited. And I went out on Saturday to look for some other lots. And I actually found another lot that I liked, and I decided to put in an offer on that one. But when I was literally on the other lot with my realtor, my attorney called and said that they had finally signed. So they legally had to sell it to me then, and I legally had to buy it. So I had to abandon that other lot. It was no problem because I actually liked this one better. So now I was under contract. I had to do a percolation test on the soil, often called a perk test. This is to test if the soil can handle a septic system. Just so you know, this is my contingency in the contract. If the land failed this test, I could get out of the deal and get my deposit back. You always need to work in contingencies like that because you don't want to get left with land that's unbuildable. Before even making an offer, I'd already called out the local Department of Buildings to find out the local regulations for this zoning, which is called Mountain Greenbelt Zone, so I knew exactly what I could and couldn't build on the land right from the start. I had the perk test done by a local engineer within a week of signing. The land passed, so the soil could absorb water fast enough for a septic system. No municipal sewer here, so a septic system is required for building. So I was all ready to close the deal, and then nothing happened. The original closing date, November 10th, came and went, and I just waited. Now, I wasn't so anxious this time because I was under contract. The seller legally had to sell it to me, no other buyers could come in and bid up the price, and I could just get my attorney to do his thing and force them to sell it to me if it really came down to it. But anyway, in the end, I closed on the land on December 3rd, 23 days after the original closing date. There we go. That's a copy of the deed, signed, done and dusted, we're ready to go. And now it's mine, and I'm going to tell you my plans for it. So I've been into the idea of a cabin in the woods for quite some time. Look at this one. This is a pretty famous cabin up here in the Catskills. You can book it on Airbnb, but good luck, it's booked up until next summer. But that's what gave me the idea, and with COVID, a lot of people, they don't want to fly anywhere, they want to take local vacations near their city that they can drive to, and perhaps they want to stay in a house that's socially distanced rather than staying in a hotel with a load of other people. So it's a great time to get into this industry. But when I do something, I do it to the max. So my target is rich people from New York City who can afford between $300 and $500 a night. But to target the high end of the market, the house has to be incredible. So here are some preliminary designs. There's going to be a lot of glass, including skylights, so you feel really close to the forest. The exterior siding is going to be distressed wood imported from Europe, and there'll be a grill, a hot tub, and a cedar barrel sauna on the deck. And we're obviously going to do all the awesome lights outside for chilling on the deck in the evening. And so yeah, that's the plan, guys. If we can hit that high end of the market, even with a construction loan, we can probably generate enough profit from this one property that it would be almost equal to the kind of average annual salary here in the US. So very excited about this business plan. Now, obviously, there's a lot more work than if you just rented out the property to someone, but we can automate a lot of that by hiring cleaners, having locks that automatically text message a code to a guest when they sign in, etc., etc. So I'm going to tell you more about this business plan as we go through the process. And yeah, it's going to be a great investment. Now, speaking of investments, if you want 4 free stocks just for signing up for Webull, opening a brokerage account and investing $100, link for that is below. It's a great deal. It's going away soon, so get it while you can. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and for more updates on this property as we go forward. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.